anyone who's listening and you're skeptic, you secretly want to feel the truth. So put yourself in a state, put your headphones on, and just say, okay, if you trust me enough, you might think that I'm full of shit, so don't listen if you think that someone's full of shit, obviously. But if you trust me enough, like, allow your heart to dissolve and let yourself be moved in your cells, in your bones, in your DNA, in your field, in your frequency, and tune into the desire that you want to connect. And guess what's going to meet you there? Your fucking soul.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Awaken to Joy. I'm Shem. He is
Omondi.
And today we have another wonderful treat for you. A wonderful guest who is into sounds, music, frequencies. It's Katie from Encoded Frequencies, and I'll let her introduce herself. Okay, hey Katie.
Hey Katie.
Oh, hey guys, thanks for having me. Hello anyone and everyone tuning in. I'm Katie. I am from Australia. I don't know how to do the labeling part of what I do, but basically I'm I don't know, a multidimensional energy channel that is deeply passionate about converting different dimensional frequencies into sound through light language, energy, classical music, just music in general is a carrier for high dimensional frequencies that I like to share with others.
You said it better than I could. That's why I let my guests say it, because you say it. Okay. All right. So, firstly, I like to always ask my guests, what type of child were you? And is there any link between what you do today and that child energy, that childhood desire that you had?
Oh, that's a good question. I was a rebel child. So I was an only child growing up, and a lot of my memories are me just being like very unreasonable and bossy and like loud and creative and stubborn. And I feel like that's quite judgmental. Like, I think I was a chill, funny, weird kid. And I think that's definitely stayed with me. I had a kind of traumatic childhood. Like, my mum passed away when I was 8. So I think a lot of my memories have been suppressed. But I think the trait that kind of stayed with me is my authority issues, where I can't work for anyone or do what anyone else tells me to do, which actually ended up being a blessing because now I've randomly made a career out of channeling aliens and like making music, and it's like a sick career and I'm absolutely obsessed with it. So I think the traits of me as a child that were rebellious and didn't follow rules or conform to things has been my biggest probably curse in some ways and also blessing in another. So I think it's freed me to kind of confidently be who I am without having to worry if someone likes it or doesn't like it. I'm just kind of outside of any box that anyone made for me, which is cool. And yeah, I grew up playing music. I studied classical music and the piano, and music's been a huge part of my whole life. So I think like little me would be shocked at what I do and would be like, damn, go girl. Like, no one said that job existed when you were little, and now you're doing it. So that's kind of cool. Yeah.
That is a lovely answer. I could just imagine we would have been friends.
I can feel that already.
Yeah, that was my energy back then. I was really spiky, is what I like to say. Okay, so you say you channel aliens. Do you adhere to the idea of starseeds? And if so, where do you find yourself in that world?
Ooh, wait, what was the question? Do I believe in starseeds?
Yeah, like, do you even subscribe to the idea of it? How do you feel about it? Like, you just said channel aliens, so like, where are you with that?
I think just like the nature that our souls are multidimensional and that we are having many different experiences right now, and there are different levels of consciousness in different realms. A lot of my work is based in interdimensional traveling, so teaching people how to access different states of consciousness, interfacing with beings on ships, going to the angelic realm, talking to God. Like there's all these different realms of consciousness that I got to explore in my life through sickness and through drugs and just through the chaos of just figuring out what the fuck is happening on planet Earth and no one's telling me what's happening. I had to figure it out myself. So I guess like starseed to me is just you've originated in another place from a different dimensional realm. And I think the more work that I do, and when I say channeling aliens, like there are different races and culminations of frequencies that I get the joy of meeting and connecting with very viscerally. And I think my passion is sharing and being curious about different civilizations and different perspectives that we can ground and embody on Earth to liberate humanity, to realize, yeah, we've all been put in a box. And I think the lens of alien or starseed is just another way to access a different multidimensional fractal of who we've always been and where we've come from and where we're going and who we are. If that makes sense.
Oh, total sense.
Yeah. Okay, we're on the same page. Cool.
Absolutely.
I heard
this
you.
Is lovely.
I heard you mentioned fractals. Could you explain your interpretation of fractals and in relation to the soul?
Yeah, I guess I've had some pretty cool experiences being so sick and spending so much time meditating and being on my own. The way I would see, like, I've had kind of started with meeting individuated aspects of my consciousness. So I went and explored like my Egyptian lifetimes or fractals, and I explored some Arcturian fractals, and I explored some different individuated aspects of my consciousness that is here and now. But I had an experience of meeting kind of my oversoul, which I saw was like the culmination of all of these fractals of me that I can calibrate and tune into and not fully embody, because I don't think my physicality could handle that much light, but learn from. So I see fractals as just different perspectives and sides of the coin that we are co-currently being, and you can access and utilize the wisdom and the knowledge and the power and the coolness and the personality and the quirkiness of any of your fractals. And I think that I feel like it's kind of my job here with Encoded Frequencies to give people permission that they get to explore those fractals in a really fun, playful way without attaching to the label or embodying, I am this and I am that. You're an ever-flowing frequency that's moving through these different dimensional landscapes, and you get to choose what fractal you want to be at any point of the day.
Well said.
Yep.
So,
yes,
I heard about your Egyptian one. Like when you were saying it like piqued my attention. Only because I have had my own experiences with my Egyptian, well, not Egyptian in what, you say Egyptian and people think, okay, pyramid, Pharaoh, Tutankhamun. No, not that one. The real one, the other one.
The older one.
The original
one. Yeah.
The ancient ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even fully human. Yeah.
Yeah. And when I had my instances with that lifetime, though I don't like calling them lifetimes, but, for lack of better terms, I worked with sound. I'm saying
sure we
work,
together.
but it was, I used to use sound to put into stones, walls, how, like a transfer of information, energies left in certain places. When you had your instance, did you find that it has any thread of the same storyline as Katie does here on Realm 1?
Like, is there a bleed through the experiences I saw? Yeah, absolutely. The first experience that I had, like a big part of my consciousness, I think that's active as me, Katie Jane, existing in this human body, 33-year-old female. I think like a big bleed through is from my Egyptian heritage, ancient Egyptian fractal, you could call it. I remember the first time I ever really started to tune in, because I was obsessed as a kid with like ancient Egyptian books and like, you know, you just get like ADHD hyper fixated on shit when you're a kid and you're like, this is everything. I remember just being like obsessed with it. And now I'm like, no shit, you were trying to remember parts of yourself at that time. And I would always have this recurring dream of walking through the pyramids. Then they were like deep underground. And I was in this like white robe. And I remember always that I'd come to this one place and I would make a sound, like, you know, when you're in a cave and it echoes, and then bodies would start levitating. And I remember that I was a kid in my mind, but it was a vision or a memory. And then as the sound changed in pitch, their body started like morphing, or I could see the way that sound interpenetrated the body and could open up kind of portals within the body, which I think is a crazy thing to be like visioning as a kid, but just like not telling mom or dad. But now that I'm going into it, it makes sense that all these recalls that I'm having in the way that I use sound, mine wasn't necessarily like into buildings or structures. It was always into bodies. Like I think that I've always just been like a healer. I haven't always been a healer, but like I think I used it in a healing capacity a lot. And a lot of my memories are sound opening portals. So I always have this recurring memory of walking in and the top of the pyramid opening up. And there was like a male counterpart of me, and we would make this like fuck off high sound, like crazy high frequency. And then like a ship would come through, and then as light projected up, light came down from different constellations and like star systems and like beings. And then like super tall people would walk in, and then we would encapsulate that sound in a crystal or in something. And then I would bring it through the town and then like plant it in the water or plant it in here. So I think like the whole idea of encoding frequencies through sound into bodies or structures or technology is super normal. And it's crazy to me that we don't just do that more. It seems like so simple and easy. Like I run a company in Australia called Vibrosound, and it's a vibroacoustic sound therapy company where we hand make beds that pulse frequencies and vibrations into your body. And it like, I healed from endometriosis. It like heals your body so fast. And in my mind, I'm like, why wouldn't you lay on a device that shifts the frequencies of your cells immediately? Like what we doing, people? So I think there's a big bleed through ancient Egyptian cult, like these fractals, and my mission and like my joy and my passion right now.
I saw it. So I was like, ooh, what am I looking at?
Cool.
That is wonderful. And for the Octuri,
no, that's okay. Go ahead.
Today.
Go ahead.
Okay, so
I always railroad my husband. He never gets his word in.
It's like, okay. I swear I'll come off of this one. I'll come off of this one in a second.
I'm hanging on to the thoughts. Okay.
It's juicy. Okay.
Go.
The Octurian, like that's where I was first shown like about med beds. They were like, oh, like look at this, and then we do this, and do you remember this? And I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. So when you said about singing into things, I sing into everything. I sing into my cups of tea, my bath, crystals, plants. I swear my plants get abused, like in the physical world. In the physical world, they're left. They have growths on them sometimes, but then I'll just sing into it, and then they're still growing. They're just thriving. I really resonate with the idea of singing into things.
To be fair, you're a singer. So
that's your purpose. That's your
I guess.
It is.
I guess part of it.
Yeah. So, Katie, I was going to ask you, when you are a child and you play certain games or you use your imagination a lot more as a tool, because when we then grow up as an adult, we forget to use our imaginations as a tool. We're saying, well, that I'm making this up, so it doesn't exist. But you often play some games like, or you kind of like, think like you can move a mountain with your mind, or you can speak a language that is unknown. And would you say that is close to who you truly are?
Like a creative, imaginative force that can tune into these like unlimited human capacities. I would say
Yes,
that encapsulates me perfectly. Like I think it's really odd that we have to physically drive places. Like I had a series of dreams where Arcturians were teaching me how to bilocate or like kind of like teleport, and they were teaching me, and I would like arrive a place like without my arm, and they'd be like, haha, try that again. So I think the imaginative force for me is less imagination and more just remembering that I feel more confused at why things are so slow on this planet, and more confident in my imaginations as being very real and active things. Like I kind of see these children and that way of being is more just like accessing the remembrance of the quantum, like the infinite possibilities and the infinite ways to shift our frequencies, and feeling attuned to like shape shifting into this realm or to this version of myself or to this thing. And I think if anything, people, like I struggle connecting to more adults because I think they find me a bit odd, and I think I find them a bit odd as well. So I definitely connect with the idea of children being tapped into an imagination that is not so much imagination, but more a remembering of what we can and do and used to do and are moving toward.
Yes.
Well, likewise, I think. I think
my dad finds it so odd.
A lot of us, I think, that didn't know when we were playing a game or using our imagination that it actually is us tapping into an ancient version of us or an alternative version of us. As we know, you are practicing Black language, or should I say speak Black language, and it's still very misunderstood by a lot of us. And so I was going to ask you, first of all, what does encoded frequencies mean?
I guess just like, for me, sound is physical, but it's energetic. And the more, like my ultimate passion when I create a soundscape or make music is how can I embed and encode subliminal and energetic impressions and messages and coding into the sound. So it's not just a piece of music, it's a consciousness. How do I explain? It's like when I make a piece of music, I will record my bowls and I will attune to a certain dimension or a certain frequency to encapsulate within the sound. So to one person, it just sounds like some crystal bowls. But when you really tune in, it's like a portal or a key where you can entrain and assimilate to whatever dimensional frequency I was recording that from, and it's encapsulated in the sound to trigger this memory, to release this innate ability that if you listen with pure intent, you can also entrain to where I've recorded that frequency from. And sound is a transportation tool. So you can shift interdimensionally without even having to think, because the mind likes to be like, I can't astral travel, I can't channel, I can't see different dimensional realms. But there is like a switch where if you really allow frequencies to engross you and they're properly curated, it's the most powerful thing ever. So I love creating soundtracks with encoded frequencies that take the hard work out of it for people, and you can just dissolve into that frequency by becoming that sound. And then you move into light language and you realize we are a series of programs and codes and templates that are either dormant or activated, and you can decrystallize ancient patterns of ancestral or galactic or your soul's lineage of trauma and these limitations through precisely calibrated, like the Arcturians showed you med beds. They showed me different frequencies and sounds that can literally rewire quantumly the templates that create our beliefs, identity, thoughts, perspectives, experiences, and collapse them and restructure through sound, I guess like a hologram or an energetic field that's fully restructured in a higher oscillation of you. So you don't have to go anywhere or do anything, but you can go deeply inwards and reformat your whole consciousness. And that's why I think that sound is very misunderstood, and the technology of it itself is only just taking off. Like, it's interesting running vibro sound, and you think that people understand frequencies, but we're still at such a preliminary understanding of a hertz, a wavelength, a light frequency. Like, we're really at the dawning of a new era. So that's why I'm obsessed with both the spirituality of sound, but the science of sound too, the physics of sound, and then the spiritual aspect. And I don't think that I could create to the level that I do without both understandings, like studying classical music, studying sound therapy, being just a sound nerd, and my husband's a sound nerd too, as well as activating my multidimensional power and fractals that used to use it on a much higher level. Because a lot of the time when I'm doing a session or working in that quantum field and someone's energy field, I'm really analytical. So I always ask, what am I doing now? And what am I doing now? And sometimes they're like, can you just shut up and be the channel and let whatever is coming through, and we'll teach you later. So I'm always learning new protocols to dissolve templates and upgrade things. And it's literally sometimes with just one note. I could sing one note and that's doing all of that. But to someone else, they're like, that was a pretty note. You know what I mean? So it's really cool what we can do, and I love learning, but I'm also aware that we're at just the very foundational level of how we use sound. And that's why I think it's exciting that more people are activating their light codes, more people are activating their Lyran, Andromedan, Arcturian, like whatever star constellation, angelic. Some souls are just like pure conduits of full God source. Like, all of these codes and frequencies, we're all just a note in the orchestra of everything. And when everyone's online, damn, that's going to be fun. Like, I don't want to be the only one doing this shit. I want everyone to add it together. And that's just like the most exciting thing for me. So that's why I love teaching in encoded frequencies and inspiring and encouraging people, because everyone's so fucking talented. They've just been conditioned and traumatized. And I think that's why I came through. I never got bullied at school, and I never really had anyone be like quite mean to me, apart from my like family, classic. But I feel like it's my job here to just like inspire people that they are great and that they can bring their song online and their frequencies online. And it's just so much fun, because I feel like we're learning in real time from the higher realms and galactics and whatever, how to really upgrade our own technology, which is just our voice or just using forks or whatever, right?
It's very interesting. You also mentioned how we're only catching up. I mean, science is only catching up now. I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but you kind of alluded to the fact that only the interest is starting now to happen about sounds and technology, and there's been already some documentary like BAM that explain why certain places been built a certain way, because it was like a resonance room, if you will. So for anyone out there, they can also see this documentary. Would you say that the knowledge always been there, but we were too blind to see it?
Yeah, I think we've all had a fall in consciousness since when, like you were saying, you have memories of being like singing into stones and bricks. I think that the fall of consciousness into, you could call like the dark ages, it's blind, or I see everything kind of like a babushka doll. If you're only able to access this level of your consciousness, we're just re-expanding where the information's always been out here. We've just been in a contracted state of frequency to be able to get that. And I think that's why it's an exciting time, because the more you activate and expand and allow your frequency, you don't need to learn anything. You don't need to go out and like be more. Once you entrain to the field that has all of the information, and that's why channeling is so cool, you become a vibrational match to the information, and then it just pops through and you're like, holy shit, how did I know that? Like, I shouldn't know the things that I know. I haven't Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's always there, and you're just meeting that field of information. And that is the coolest thing, because it's like, well, once you hack the algorithm of how to shift your frequency, sky's the limit, right? Obviously, you have the physical vessel that you need to tend to and nurture, and it can only hold so much light and blah, 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 blah. But yeah, I'm psyched to be here alive right now. It's pretty cool.
I always say, and a lot of our community members say as well, like, it's just an awesome time to be here. We obviously all chose this time for a reason, and being on the precipice of something so wonderful, like this upgrade we're going through. I feel like when you were saying it's more about remembering, it is that. And I think the more we lean into remembering, the more that we'll be able to just shed the idea that these things are outside of ourselves and that these things aren't ordinary. Like, I always try to make references between, like, the idea of telepathy or the idea of all of our clairs coming online. I was like, they're already here. We're just calling them other things. Like,
yes,
you know, like if you've been a mother and like if you've been a mother and you've just like breastfed or anything, how the hell do you think you know when your baby needs to eat? You feel it. That's just your clear sentience. Like, you know, if you feel like something's in your room at night and you're getting scared, okay, that's your clear sentience as well. Like, if you hear voices, clear audience, like it's just about that connection, that breadcrumb to remembering that that's what it is. And yeah, it is an awesome time to be here. When you spoke about your illness that you'd had, that you'd experienced, or maybe you're still experiencing it, not taking that away. But
nah, I'm good now. I'm all good.
Snap. I had to do some of that as well, because I was like, for the rest of my life, what?
Yeah.
I'm not taking that shit for the rest of my life. Are you nuts?
Yeah.
I was like, no, fuck out of here. I got this from here. It was one of those moments. So how was that process for you of going through that journey of advocating for your own vessel and stepping into your power when it came to using what you already remembered to free yourself of that illness?
Yeah. So growing up, I had endometriosis, and it was just like excruciating pain from the age of 12. It was super isolating. Didn't get diagnosed until I was 19. So for like 7 years, the doctor's like, you have IBS, or you have psychosomatic, or you da-da-da-da-da. So like I literally had no idea why I would just black out all the time. Like I remember traveling and I just like woke up in a shower one time at 2 a.m. and the shower had been running for hours because I just like blacked out. And this like cute little like Colombian lady was like, Miss, get up. And I've just been in so many dreadfully terrible situations through this incurable disease, because I think the language around these things, that my inner fire was like, as you said, fuck no, am I living like this for the rest of my life? I'd rather die than like live like this, you know what I mean? And there was a period. So I think like the major things that I've had in my life is endometriosis, an undiagnosed just like drug problem. Like I just did so many drugs to escape everything. Like I got kicked out of home when I was 17. I left uni and I just traveled the world for like 5 or 6 years being like, what the fuck? And I think like because I was a female and because of my life, I never found the boundary. Like I was very good at school. I was a very good student. I've always been super smart and good at things. So I just think that like my soul was like, where the fuck are the boundaries and the rules of this life? So I just like went to find the extreme. And I think also having ADHD, I just wanted that dopamine hit all the time. So I think like being sick and being a rebel and like having no one. So like all my family members, I just had a dad. Like everyone else died and I didn't have anyone else around, and I didn't speak to my dad for like 5 years. So I literally had no one. I got what I wanted. I had no authority to like help me or guide me. So I think being sick and advocating for myself was like not fun. It wasn't like a nice, inspiring journey. It was like grueling and disgusting and horrible and like the turning point was when I got dengue fever in Colombia. I was like 24 and had a really bad eating disorder, and they were like, here's some medicine, eat some bread with it. And I like straight up refused to eat the bread to take the medicine, and then my organs started failing. So I think for me, actually being such an extreme, like just an extremist on this planet, I had to like literally face death. Like I remember the walls were like closing in on me and I was just hallucinating because my organs were like failing, and I was like, oh shit. And then I remember I passed out for ages, and I've had a reading and they were basically like, that was an exit point. Like you could have just, like you were pretty close to being like, bye Earth, like check ya, see you next time round. And I think that was like the real turning point for me. That was like, well, that's when I had a pretty big spiritual awakening. All these light codes flew into my third eye at like 2 a.m. when I was reading this book out on the water, and I just downloaded a whole bunch of my ancient consciousness that I needed to keep me going, because I think that the limitation of human consciousness was so dire and just terrible and shit. And then that's when I started the healing process, and that was like the worst 3 years of my life. Like it was actually really hard to get myself better. I did the Gerson therapy. I didn't have many friends. I moved back to Australia. I was so lonely. And that's when I got into meditating and traveling different dimensions and using sound and making music to heal myself. So it wasn't fun or nice. It was actually very lonely. But I look back now and I realize where everyone is with the shift, I think my soul just chose to do it first in the most brutal way. So now I feel like no matter what client I have, I can connect to someone because I understand what pain is. I understand what loss is. I understand what addiction is. I understand what suffering is to like the fucking deepest degree. And people that listen to my channel probably only see the light part of me now. You know what I mean? Like people that listen to Encoded Frequencies, some of my clients are like, you just seem like you're so light and everything's easy. And it's like, no. Like, I never want to give off the illusion that I'm ascended or this or that. It's like, I can meet people where they're at. So I think like the journey to coming and caring for myself and turning my shit online was like thrust upon me, because it was either like leave the planet or buck up, sister, and like get your fucking shit in a pile. You've got like work to do. And now that I'm doing the work, I'm like, this is epic. And why wasn't I doing this the whole time? I'm like, look at me go. But I think, yeah, like just until about age 26, like only in the last 5 years I can say like healed.
Yeah.
That was a big rant.
No, it's I as you're saying it, I'm like, yo, and I know there's only a fraction of the story, because if the unfolding was the same for me, it was like, okay, so you got these kids, but exit point's real out here, girl. Do you want to take it? And I was like, I don't know. It looks juicy over there, but I think I got some stuff to do here, and it sucks being here like this. I feel you when you say all of that. I see you. Like
awakening is rough. I think the hardest part of the awakening for me was like realizing that I am multidimensional. I remember I laid in bed for a week when I had like first contact with like, I think they were Arcturian beings or angels, or like I just had first contact where I realized, oh shit, I'm not a human. I am a human, but I'm like, my soul is from other places, and I have family in other places because I had no family on Earth that gave a damn. So I'm sure they cared in their own way, bless you. But I think the loneliest part for me was that transition period where it's like, oh shit, there's another home and it's nicer there and people are sweet to each other and it feels good in the other dimensions. And I think that bifurcation, that splitting of the worlds and splitting of your consciousness was a really hard transition. Now I can hold my feet really grounded in this world and this world. But there was like 3 years where the pendulum would swing and I'd be super expanded state of consciousness, super retracted, really human. And I think anyone going through that shift know that it's really hard to cognitively understand and process that you are this multidimensional being when everything around you suggests otherwise. And I think finding help and support where you can both be grounded in your humanness but grounded in your multidimensionality is like the goal.
It's literally what we're doing right now. Just like, yeah, you're human, but hold.
And
that. Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you think that we are meant to suffer in order to wake up, or do you think some of us have chosen to do it this way? So hopefully, some others can see it and understand it, and don't have to do it through suffering.
I reckon there's way showers, and I think there's people that are like rebel, diehard, like adrenaline junkies. Like I reckon my soul's like, let's fucking go. Like I don't want to like just have a nice ride. And I see so many of my friends who have never had trauma and just have the best life, and I'm like, whoa, you're like really happy being normal, and like that's so good. But I just would be so bored by that. So I think that there are natural souls that are leaders and that are fierce and that are way showers. And I think that they pave the way for enabling and anchoring a certain vibrational frequency of liberation that people can either attune to or not attune to. But I think to say whether my suffering will alleviate someone else's suffering is up to that soul, whether they've contractually chosen to have X, Y, and Z as an experience, because I would never let anyone else's suffering, just because I'm I'm like, don't tell me what to do. Just because you suffer doesn't mean your story is my story. Like, I think that if the soul came to have their unique experiences, you can guide someone, but I don't think like someone else's suffering will like save someone else from their own suffering. It might like help them feel that it's going to be okay on the other side. But I do think we have in this dualistic dimension decided that suffering is an interesting game to a tool to utilize. And I think it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Because hearing your story reminds me of a love story I've heard of what some of us that decided, you know what, I'm going to come here. It's going to be shitty for a while, and it's going to get better
for a while.
And then you see other people that, wow, your life is cushy, it's nice.
Like, you haven't even lost a pet?
Like, wow.
Yeah, what
the fuck?
Yeah. And obviously, it takes some time to understand that we choose this life here.
Yeah.
So,
I had
before
to
that, though,
for a while.
you're like, why me? Like, why is my life so shitty? And you want so great. However, it seems that people begin to get with the idea of, we all choose on some soul level to come here.
Thank God we choose. I think that's the most empowering perspective that I could come to in my life, is like taking ownership and responsibility for everything that's happened to me. I chose every family member, every death, everything I chose. And I'm like, it makes me feel comfortable and relaxed that I chose it rather than it's being thrust upon me, because I'm like, okay, sick. I'm obviously crazy and I've chosen this and I can handle that. So I think, taking responsibility and remembering, and the more time that you spend, like I've seen so many clients, and like the more time you spend in like the Akashic records or like meeting people's like soul family or their guides, and you read what they've contractually chosen to experience on earth, the more you're like, this is all planned, people. Chill. And you can cancel a contract, you can upgrade a contract, you can end any suffering or lesson whenever you want. And that's how I kind of healed from endometriosis. I realized, wow, my body is choosing to be in this state of dissonance. And that's why sound is so powerful and physics is so powerful, because I realized, wow, everything is not solid. Everything is vibrating. And if all of my cells are vibrating a certain frequency, you look at cymatics, and different frequencies like on the Chladni plate shift and change the geometric patterns of the sand on the plate. If I played a new tune, I can recode it. And I actually healed from endometriosis really fucking quick with the understanding that I can dissolve and go into the templates and all of this kind of thing. So I think it is a tool to understand the mechanisms of reality deeper, and then you can instantly shift. And that's where the fun begins, because you're like, ooh, how many timelines can I shift? Like, how many versions of me can I shift to that are more fun or more whatever you want to experience?
Yeah. You mentioned cymatics. there was 2 points. You mentioned cymatics and you mentioned ADHD. So I put a pin in the ADHD because snap.
It's fun,
So
isn't it?
right, we coined it as a superpower in our soul family. We were like, "Yep, anyone else with the superpower? Yeah,
It is a superpower.
it is." And once you accept it as such, you just let it work for you. That's what I found. So with cymatics, I always thought it was funny how the leading doctor, one of the leading doctors on it, was called Dr. Emoto. And I was just like, an emo is like, I see that the funny threads of the breadcrumbs that the universe is like, hi people, if anyone is deep in the sleep right now, there are breadcrumbs to lead you to like the things that could alleviate what people would associate as worry or stress, or even like the idea of sacrifice. I think also because we kind of started our journey when a lot of people were more or less even on the idea of awakening. Not that there haven't been waves of us before. I think because we're like the last of the strugglers, I'd like to believe the last of the strugglers. We thought, oh, I want some of that struggle. That's a good idea. I think also that's been a superpower for a lot of us as well, to be able to anchor, like you were saying. It allows you to be able to feel where somebody is coming from when they come in a state of distress or in a state of feeling like they're a victim of some sorts. But how was that idea? And I see that you said for you it was empowering to just say, I chose everything. How do you feel when you have a client who refuses even that concept?
I just debate them. I just like, I love, most of my clients are so respectful and like hardworking, and everyone kind of is like really almost they're like, give it to me straight, Katie, because they know I can see in their field and where the patterns lie and why. I think most people are pretty hard, like so open to change and taking responsibility, but I love people that won't take responsibility, because all you have to do is guide them back to the truth. And then you see their brain glitch. And then if you just stay strong on like through love, obviously, but you watch their defenses or their stories, they dismantle and crumble and dissolve in the face of truth. So when you hold a mirror to someone and say, and it's easier when you're in the quantum field and you're reading their patterns and they can see it. It's like you watch these little plates smash in their mind where no one's ever told them the truth. No one's ever seen them properly. The best thing about what I do is that people come away and they're like, holy shit, my whole 50 years of life, no one's ever seen me and my soul and who I am actually, without a projection or me needing to be a certain person for them. And that's why I think working interdimensionally and with higher energies, it's the field that knows all, sees all, encapsulates all. And it really, the light of truth dissolves all these parameters, and it lets people actually meet themselves in that space. So I very rarely get people like that, but I love it when I do. I'm like, bring it on, try and lie to me, like try and trick me. I see you, it's all good, and I love you, and I don't care if you get better or you don't get better. That's your choice. Come back in 5 years. Like, I don't care. And I think that's the maturation of doing this work, where at the beginning I really cared if someone had a good time. And same for if you're going to go public with your shit on YouTube. Like, at the beginning you care, you want people to like you want people to have a good time. And now I'm like, I want to do the best channeling that I've ever done in my life. It's like a game between me. So if someone doesn't like it, I'm like, bye, Felicia. Like, I think the best thing I ever started encoding to is like, no one can add to my worth and no one can subtract from my worth. So no matter how much someone praises me or like comes for me, my worth is just my worth. And that's a really nice place to be in now.
You know what? That was our week.
Oh, really?
That was
people coming for you?
Oh yeah.
We have to hold our
about?
space, like, and I was like, I'm holding space here, and you could do whatever you want around it.
Yeah.
And
Say
that's
it.
that.
Be it.
Like,
Yeah.
it's literally like none of my fucking business what your opinion is about it.
Yeah.
So,
But with ADHD, do you have RSD? Because I definitely have a bit of like rejection sensitivity where I'll be like, why are you being mean?
for a moment,
Yeah.
I'll be
And then
like,
you'll see through it.
let me play the game of, because for me, I feel like ADHD is something that my soul has agreed to, because it was like, well, we can't be sick all the time. That's not practical.
No.
But let's have this because it's fun. So then when I have these moments of, okay, I'm going to hold on to this and act like I take it personally. And then when I'm bored, I'll be done with it and be like, oh, no, it's getting old already. Yeah, you ain't shit. Bye.
I'm done.
It's that.
Yeah.
I'm putting the violin down. I'm good.
Yeah.
It's that. But it's fun to play with sometimes. But
Yeah.
sometimes you see these things come up and you're like, oh, all right. But you're aware that's none of my business, right? Like,
Totally.
Okay,
and then you can make it your business. Like, I think that I've grown so much by starting this YouTube channel. It's only been alive for like, I think maybe, it's like a year and a half, 2 years now. And I think that I've grown so much by just the few people calling me out on random shit or the challenges that I've had to face. Because it's all very well sitting in your bedroom, which I used to do, making music 8 hours a day, meditate. It's all very well to be enlightened quietly in your bedroom in Byron Bay in Australia, but like putting your shit out there are so many challenges. And I think it's actually just a game between me and me. Like everyone on YouTube is giving me a version of myself that I get to be like, oh, wow, interesting that resonated vibrationally, emotionally with me. What's the charge in me that like sees merit or worth in what they've just said? And it calls you to kind of be your best version of yourself again and again. And I've faced so many challenges just internally that I don't even think I've recognized, but it's like a gift of maturation and development through making music and putting it online. Like it's really a fun game. And there's no rules.
There aren't any. It's
No
like
rules.
It's exactly like saying to yourself, it's like the other day I was suggesting to myself, I was like, I'm going to start humming. And guess what? That's what I'm going to hum like I do every time, but I hum anyway. So I was like, I'll film my morning hum. And that's just going to be my shit. That's it. Like, and I was just like, I'm just going to do it. And then someone else was like, oh, I'd love it if you hum. And I was like, oh, I keep on forgetting how this works. I think I've had this grand idea and then I'm going to do it. But it's already been ordered by someone and you're just picking up on their order. So it's like, it's already been requested. You've just picked up on a request. It's not like...
Call and response. The ultimate scatting.
Yeah.
Someone said shibba-da-bop and you're like bada-boo.
Basically. And then you're like, bada bing, here you go. Okay.
Yeah.
It's all of that. So yeah.
That's a cool way to think about it.
It's the only reason why I was like, should I not? That's why I don't say should I not. I'm like, if it's here, it's because someone's requested it, do it. Or someone else will if they pick it up in their field.
Yeah.
So you mentioned creating a YouTube channel and all the challenges that comes with that. So I was going to ask, how do you master the courage to put yourself forward with these abilities? Because I'm sure many of us would love to do what you're doing. We've seen you doing it on YouTube, and it's great, it's impressive. But how do you master that courage for anyone who wants to actually tap in their abilities?
I was born with a disease called naive optimism.
All right.
Where my husband is literally like, Katie Jane, you move at such light speed, you literally don't even give yourself a second to ponder what if you fall, because you're just fucking going for it. And I think that I wish that I could claim that I had this like, I guess it's like an inbuilt courage that I don't reference, but there's a downside to it as well. Like, I remember I said to a customer when I first started Vibrosound, he was like, "You got soundtracks?" I was like, "Yeah." I had never made a vibroacoustic soundtrack in my life, didn't know how to make the bed vibrate, didn't know how to do it. And he goes, "How many you got?" And I go, 10? And he goes, "Yeah, I'll take those 10 and a bed." And he was our first customer. And I called Will and I was like, fuck, I just sold 10 of a soundtrack that I've never made before. And I literally went into like stress mode of like, holy shit, now I have to go and figure out how to do that. And then I think the naive optimism of me saying yes to things and moving forward and thinking, yeah, I can do that, like drives this inherent sense where I'm like, oh shit, I've like started it. They don't call me 80% Katie Jane for nothing. Like I can 80% something and then it's like the last 20% where I'm like, oh shit. So I don't think that it's that I have the courage. I think that I have this like naive optimism that I'm a visionary. Like I'll see the vision of the grand piece of music, or I'll see what I want the channel to be, or I'll see I want to travel the world and do activations and all this shit. And then I have to backtrack and actually meet myself at ground zero. And then I'm like, oh God, why did I take on so much? Like ADHD is like a superpower, but I think that I've set such a high expectation, such a big vision for myself. I don't have enough time to wig out about the small stuff. I don't have enough time to be like, was that a good video? Because I'm literally like, the next series is going to be a forgiveness series and I'm going to channel this and this. And it's like this like insane person's brain where all I want to do is create more and more and more. Like, if I could wake up and not eat and not drink and not hang out and not see anyone and sit in a room and create all day, I would. So it's like, and I guess an addictive personality of like, all I want to do is create. So I don't have enough time to think, do I have courage to do this, or is someone not going to like it? I think I'm just obsessed with the act of creating. And that's like the lifeblood that moves through me. So I don't have any steps for people. Be a little bit nuts, maybe. Be a bit crazy and just come into a state. And I guess that's the blessing of being sick, like being in a state where it's like, what am I going to do? Die? No. Let's only do what I like doing. And I like making music and I like making this. So even if one person listened, I would still make the work. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Understood.
We weren't
understood.
We were asking this because number one, you are like speaking my language, and number two, bless your husband, him and Omondi clearly signed up for something just nuts.
He's so grounded and so methodical and so strategic. And I think he looks at me like, how the fuck am I going to pick up the pieces of what she's just said yes to? Like, we co-run Vibrosound together and he's forever. I'm the yes man and he's the like grounded and actionate. And that's an unsung hero right there. Like, he is got my back. And I think behind every crazy ADHD girl is like a very calm, grounded, sane tree man.
Yes.
Yes.
And also, we were hoping that you could answer that for people because we haven't been able to answer that for people. But you didn't answer it either because be batshit crazy is literally the formula.
Don't give a fuck. Be a bit crazy.
Yeah. Plan big.
Yeah.
Just plan massively.
Be excited. Or like, the other method is like strategically figure out your triggers and your beliefs and dissolve them through the hard work of decrystallizing patterns and be an investigator. Like when I was really sick and really depressed, I would wake up every day and I'd say, who do I want to be today? And then I'd go out in the town and I'd tell people my name was Isabella and that I trained dolphins and that I'm from Colombia. Like, be so bored of yourself that you have to be sick of your own shit. Like, there's going to come a point where you want to create something and the fear of creating it gets to be so boring to you that you're so bored and sick of your shit that you wake up one day and you go, oh, I'm going to do anything different but that. So dwell in your fear for a while then. Don't make anything for a while and then get bored of that and then move on. You know what I mean? Like, indulge.
Yeah, it
how
makes
quickly
sense,
you come running back.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
that
To
makes
your shit,
a lot
like,
of sense. Yeah.
okay, all right, I'm done acting like I'm not calling you back. I love you too much.
Yeah,
Okay, let's do this.
exactly. Play it big or play it small. You'll get bored. Yeah.
No,
I'm flipping.
that's fine. I actually was thinking about moving on to the interesting bit.
Oh, we haven't even
So,
touched the interesting bit yet?
no, I know.
I'm excited.
What it is, do you know? Okay, here's what it is. We love you to explain our community how this all work. I deal with sound, so I'm going to perhaps ask the question that way. So you receive a signal, right? And the signal has to be interpreted or not, because I don't know. I don't pretend to know how you do it, but we can tell when you speak this like language that it is a language. Like I even recognized it, even the type of language you actually speak. I recognized it, but also I recognize another person speaking a similar language. It's just that I can't determine exactly what you're saying, but I'm like, yep, I know that.
Message got loud and clear received. Yeah, cool.
So how do you receive this signal, these messages? Because I'm someone that's quite telepathic, so I can sometimes receive things, and I think we all are anyway. It's just whether you want to recognize or not. But then it's like I'm hearing something. I'm actually hearing something. And when I was growing up, I used to hear voices as well, people speaking aloud. But what I'm saying is like, okay, this is tangible for someone that has a scientific mind. They say, oh yeah, you hear voices, we're speaking a language. So how does it work?
So the way it works for me, it didn't start with light language. It started with converting emotions or messages. It started by, how did it start? Yeah, I don't know. For me, it all kind of started when I wanted to learn how to do healing on other people and read other people's energy bodies. So when I first started running energy for people, it would just be Reiki. So I just put my hands and be like, okay, life force energy is flowing. And maybe that's a good understanding where the quantum leap happens. Like I remember being like, so you mean just energy is everywhere and I can channel it? And then I think I got really frustrated with the wishy-washiness of energy practices and being like, I started being like, well, where am I channeling energy from? How much energy is there? What different types of sources of energy are there? And then I started to study and understand that light waves and light spectrums hold different tangible results and impressions on the body, and light is information. And if you deliver a red light versus a blue light, it's sending different information signals. And then I understand the understanding and differentiation of energy versus frequency. Frequency is a light or a sound wave, lots of different waves of light. And then I started to understand that embedding and imbuing certain, like our thoughts are electrical and our emotions are magnetic. So understanding we are electromagnetic beings, I can impress and imbue certain thought currents into an energy into the body. And then I started to understand that if I attune my receiver and my frequency and my signal, which I am an electromagnetic being, so all of my electrical thought currents and the whole magnetic radius of my energy field is a conductor of light, is a conductor of frequencies, and my cells are pure energy. As you go down, 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 I am not solid, but I am actually completely an energetic source. I can attune and vibrate to certain frequencies. And firstly, it started out with like wanting to connect to, how did I do it? I learned how to like open my channel and start to shift my frequency interdimensionally. So I started to learn what it felt like if I wanted to connect to people on the other side. Let's say, I think that's the easiest realm to connect to. Like I connected to my mom on the other side, and I realized there's a meeting place where I can shift my frequency outside of my conscious mind to meet with these people. So I had to raise my frequency here and they would drop their frequency. And that's a dimensional realm where I'm meeting and inferring information. And I stayed there for a long time, making sure that the images that I saw and the messages that I received and the kind of guidance that I was getting was correct. So a lot of it, if you're skeptical, is like, are you giving yourself the correct scientific knowledge, steps, procedures, and practice time to be affirming these experiences that you're having? Because I can't tell you anything without you having a lived experience of dissolving your physicality into this state of consciousness. I wouldn't ever want anyone to just trust me on pure belief. That's why Encoded Frequencies, I always give someone the experience of it, because that fundamentally, like neuroplasticity, like neurons that fire together, wire together. Once you're having these like actually lived experiences that shift and recalibrate your consciousness, then you can expand your consciousness a little more. And then for me, learning how to hold my frequency in different dimensional realms. So when I channel light language, I have an intention, and that guides where my frequency is traveling to. Universe, space, time. I can be anywhere instantly. So that's a new belief that I had to rewire. And then I would just literally say that I wanted to meet with the Arcturians. I would shift my frequency and I would wait, and I would gather data points. So I would feel a presence. It would be a blue color initially. And then I would have this emotional response to let me know, yes, this is correct. And then I started seeing more of their image and what they look like. But I had to do the heavy lifting to learn how to shift my frequency into that standpoint. And that's not of the mind. So if you're sitting in skepticism, or if you're sitting in questioning, that's why music is so powerful, because like how many times have you listened to a piece of music and it's just hit you in the feels and you just like fully break down and you're just in tears and you're like, oh, what the fuck am I crying right now? Being brave enough to be vulnerable. If you're in the skeptic place, go and let a piece of music move you to tears. And then from that state of consciousness, let the walls down and ask the questions, because I think skeptics are the best, because it's like, well, you care enough about it to be resistant to it, but like what you obviously care enough about it to learn more. Like, I think you actually really want to know. I think you're maybe commenting these questions because you actually want to feel it and live it and experience it. And that looks really nice. And guess what? It is really fucking nice. So I think give yourself a paradigm shift and learn about the vibrational nature of reality. Give yourself very lived experiences. That's why drugs really were terrible for me, but really helped me, because I had a lot of experiences physically. And then find what you're passionate about. You're never going to channel information if you don't actually care about the information that you're going to receive, if that makes sense. Like, I really care about my client and I really want to know why they are and who's there. I just really care about it. If you don't really care about it, you're probably not going to go anywhere, and you should find something that you actually care about to discover, whether it's manifestation or the quantum realm or whatever piques your fascination. And then from there, let your curiosity and your excitement guide you, because the way that I do it won't work for everyone. You have to find your own way that you want to do it and your own why. So it's very easy to sit there and judge and criticize other people saying that's not real. But like, what do you want to do? You can judge people all your life, but like, what do you want to do? What do you want to learn? Why do you want to learn it? And then go from that perspective. What are you going to get out of it? For me, I had to do it. Otherwise, I was going to exit the planet. So like, what's your why to wanting to shift your frequency or to channel? And then from there, it's like an infinite playground. Once you learn to trust yourself and shift your frequency, I'm starting a new course called the Starseed Activation School. And I wrote down all these beings I wanted to connect with. And I was really nervous because I hadn't worked with the Andromedans consciously, or I hadn't worked with the Lyrians in the way that I wanted to. And I did the best fucking recordings of my life. And I sat down and I just recorded, and I verbally said, okay, now I'm traveling here. And I just said out loud what I'm seeing, what they're doing. And then like this being just showed, like, the things that I'm being shown and the things that I'm being allowed access to is simply because I drop all the shit and I'm just really curious and I just really want to learn and know. And then when I listen back to it, there is an undeniable tangible sense. Like, there's a reason that you've listened to Encoded Frequencies and haven't not ever listened to it again. There's something that shifted within you. So for the skeptics, step out of your mind and just go and have an experience with someone, piece of music or something that moves you. And then from there, you'll know that it's real.
Wow.
What you
I'm just
feel
ranting.
is real.
No. You know what? It exceeded that expectation. Like,
No,
you
you're
know what?
not.
Just so you know, Katie, it's been amazing from the start. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Been really, really,
deal.
a big eye opener. Anyway, even for me, even though I believe in it, I believe in all of this. But
Yeah.
do you know what? I've realized that a lot of these people aren't even skeptic anymore. They
Yeah.
actually,
I just want to know.
like, I want to know.
Yeah.
They want the secret. They want it in
That's
the
what
club.
Exactly. But
That's what it really
it's
is.
been so interesting. So
And I
you
want to
know,
give
from
it to them. I want
from
to
the
tell
start,
them.
I don't know for you, Shem, but I was like, and if that is possible, of course, Katie, if you could, maybe you could channel a message for our community.
What about I give you a piece of music that I feel you could attach to the end of this recording? What if I sent you something and I gave people some homework and I said, I'll choose something that is particularly emotive that I've created with just a bit of light codes, and you could attach it to the end of this video, and I just say, anyone who's listening and you're skeptic, you secretly want to feel the truth. So put yourself in a state, put your headphones on, and just say, okay, if you trust me enough, you might think that I'm full of shit, so don't listen if you think that someone's full of shit, obviously. But if you trust me enough, like, allow your heart to dissolve and let yourself be moved in your cells, in your bones, in your DNA, in your field, in your frequency, and tune into the desire that you want to connect. And guess what's going to meet you there? Your fucking soul, right? Something is going to meet you. So I'll send you something that's emotive enough that can maybe collapse some of the mental rigidity and you can step into the feeling state.
100%. Yes.
100%.
I'll think about what it's going to be. Oh, I'm excited. I'll send you something.
To anchor to, like, in people's mind, something of the essence
feeling
of what we're talking about. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
Because obviously, they ask a lot of questions. I mean, we go live on every Sunday.
Oh, wow, you do this every week. That's a commitment. Nice work.
Yes.
It's a lot of people to talk
of
to.
me?
Yeah.
With my ADHD committing to something. Listen.
Well, do you know what it is?
That's what I said to him, and I was like, and here I am.
All right. Do you know what it is? It's okay.
Share about it.
This life is very simple. You start something, you are free to stop it whenever you want, and you don't have to give an explanation. So I understood that because I used to limit myself, thinking, "Oh my God, I have to commit, and I have to do this, and I have to do that," and I always thought, "Wow, if I start something, I mean, I can't stop." That's a lie. It's not true.
Yeah.
So although we every Sunday right now doing it for our community, the day we decide to stop, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know?
Once he said that, I was all in.
Yeah, and you know me, I stop things.
Because I was like, oh, I can pull out at any time. I'm with it.
Yeah,
I love that.
I mean,
I love my husband, and the night before my wedding, my best friend and I went for a drive, and I go, oh, I've made a terrible mistake. We have to be married forever. And she's like, Katie, you love Will. I was like, no. And then I literally needed her to tell me that I could get a divorce for me to get married to him, because it's this weird psychological thing. I'm never going to divorce him. I fucking love him. But it's like this weird thing of entrapment where I think your soul is like, oh shit, am I locked in now? Oh my God. And you feel the suffocation. But the freedom of going to the other end of the story where it's like, oh, we could stop right now. Like, even just having the thought, if someone's mean to you online, you could literally like, right, fuck you. You're never going to, but it's like so liberating to go to the full other end of the spectrum and just free yourself. Like, it's pretty fun.
You want to know
will.
that you have the ultimate freedom.
No
all I crave is freedom.
And then when you choose, you truly choose.
Yeah.
Because otherwise
you're
you're
empowered.
choosing, is it?
Yeah. Oh,
Basically.
That's what we say. Like, we choose each other every day.
Yeah.
And I got married young, so it wasn't like people were like, why the fuck are you getting married now? Like, you haven't even like lived. And I was like, you don't know who you're talking to.
I'm so tired from living.
I was like, please, I need the rest. But yeah, it's, you could, the door is there if you choose. And I was like, oh, that sounds, now people talk about sexy all the time. That's sexy. Like, please. The door?
Freedom.
Okay. All right. It was like that. So,
Plus, we practicing OBEs, out of body experience. So on the other side is it's not exactly the same as what you're here. We're still playing a game here, just to be understood, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
But anyway,
fun.
Yeah, when you know someone outside the game, you're like, oh, okay, fine. Cool. It's just like another layer of choosing. It's another layer of choosing.
Being free is just like, I think, I always just think that like liberating myself and liberating humanity is like the funnest part to be, because there really are no rules and there is no one that can tell you how to grow or how not to grow. And I think once you tap into that innate force and current of expansion within, it's just this never-ending roller coaster that you're on. So I think anyone listening, go check out the Encoded Frequencies. Light language sounds weird. It sounds weird. You're going to hate it at first and you're going to be like, what the fuck is she saying? And you're going to try and figure out what she's saying. And then you're going to either turn it off or you're going to be like, this is weird and cool. And then I think a lot of the activations, if you're there to get something and you really let yourself have that thing, once you witness one shift within you, you kind of become addicted to like, oh, okay, well, what else can I shift inside myself? And then it's like a really fun game. So just treat it as a game, I think.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people don't want to admit it, but I mean, I remember when I was a kid, I used to speak a language and it didn't mean anything much to people, but for me, it was just a game. I used to do it all the time. And then you drop it because you become a teenager and you're like, I can't be seen doing this. But you
Girls
know what I
ain't
mean?
into this. Yeah.
Right. So, but that's the thing you do. And I think a lot of us did a lot of things when we were a kid and then we just suppressed it.
Yeah.
That's
Fuck
what
that.
So I was also going to say about the activation. Right now, the whole people who are tapped in know that the shift is happening. And I saw your last couple of videos about settling people into the shift, which everyone should go and check out, by the way, because we've all been feeling the effects, especially in the soul family. We've been feeling these effects.
Strong.
Like people have been activating their clairs and just tapping back into what is. And I would say that they should go and check out your grounding your grounding activation that you did to just let people just settle into the shift. How are you finding the shift?
Thank God. I think like the last few months have been so terrible. Like I don't do well because I think I've been stable in the higher, like I was riding high for a year or two there, just being like, I'm unaffected. Like, but now the last few months was really like a deep, deep dive into like abandonment and loneliness and all these old things. And I think I just excavated pretty hard and deep. So the new frequency for me has been a really interesting thing where I'm like, I'm expanded, I can hold it. And then I dip and I'm like, so it's been really fun for me to witness how I can anchor the new energy and then understand that there's the expansion phase, there's the integration phase, there's the restructuring phase, there's the anchoring phase, there's the embodiment. It's not just one thing that's going to just happen and you're going to be like, I'm shifted. It's actually like tending to the garden of your consciousness and recognizing and knowing yourself enough to know, what do I need today? Do I need to do no energy work and eat 10 potatoes? Or do I need to go and understanding how to make the new frequencies work for you as the old is still diminishing and the new is coming online. But I think it's so fun creating a community or just using what I'm experiencing as a way to open the channel and learn from whoever the fuck wants to tell me something and channel the information and the energies, because it's really so beautiful, the community that's forming. Just even reading the comments to be like, oh, cool. Okay, other people are feeling weird today. That's nice to know that it's not me and to know that we're not alone. So I think people just documenting authentically their experiences and then wanting to help and connect with others is just where it's at. So I'm intrigued to like see where it's going to take us, but I know that it's cyclical, right? It's the waves, it's the babushka doll. And as I said, like being like a visionary, I can see we're going so much more expanded. So a part of me is like, I'm ready. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And I think that it's really important to learn all of the steps, which I said, like integrating, grounding, synthesizing, calibrating, anchoring, holding, and then affirming the new for a long enough period of time that you are in your thoughts, in your actions, in your energy, in your deeds, able to hold that frequency. And then you can shift again, because you don't want to be like tricking yourself, right? Or bypassing or pretending.
Yeah, that's a big one. Yeah, I don't really adhere to the fake it till you make it, because sometimes when you do that, you break it. And so I was just like, I just think I'll just look weird for a while and be doing that, and just, if I have to limp, I limp, and then one day I'll just be like, oh, I can catwalk again.
Healed.
Yeah, it's one of those ones.
You want to be properly healed.
That's what it is. Where can people find you, and what work can you do with them, knowing for facts they're interested? Like our peeps, like our people, they're on this frequency. Where can they find you?
Hey, people. Probably just go to my YouTube and just ingest a few things. I do a lot of clearing work, clearing ancestral, activating. And then I'm 7 months pregnant, so I'm not doing some lives at the moment. But mostly I create live experiences based on things that I'm moving through and think, God, other people probably struggle with this too. So I create quantum live events where you can come, and basically I open up the field, and it's based on the frequency of everyone that comes there specifically, and they're really powerful. So there's a bunch of old lives that you can go and listen to. And then I run trainings. Like I teach people multidimensional energy. I teach people how to activate their light codes. I run courses and things like that. Just check out my website. There's so much shit. I'm an overachiever. Like
wonderful.
A true overachiever. But go just digest some of the free stuff on YouTube and just let it sink in. And don't do too many activations at once. I definitely know that you can go on like a journey and be like, let's go, because some of the shifts are subtle yet like life-changing.
Yeah. One shift at a time.
One shift at a time. Walk before
you want to ask the next one?
No, go ahead. No,
okay.
You're in the flow.
So, usually we ask our guests, in your opinion, who are we and why are we here?
We're multidimensional beings here to liberate and expand the template of humanity, to re-harmonize to the larger picture of galactic and interdimensional expansion, so we can feel united in the one as the all, and continue our soul's journey to being more vibrationally attuned to the full picture of source.
Beautiful.
Ding, ding, ding.
Well,
yeah, basically. So mic drop, and that was Katie. That's
Bye.
what it is. That was Katie, folks. Get into it, okay? It was lovely talking to you. It was lovely chatting.
I love you guys. I wish I lived in UK. All my best friends, my literal best friends, live in London. So I wish that we could all hang out and our kids could play. But until then, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Can't wait to do a deep dive and listen to all your other podcasts.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited.
Well, because you're also a lover of the F-bomb, you'll be
right
at home. We've got our set of friends, and so some is like more chatting, and other one is like an interview. For the most part,
love a chit chat.
When we chat,
it's a chit chat.
You're gonna hear some swear words. That's just the way it is.
Keep it real.
Yeah, it's been a vibe, and we loved having you here. And I know that the whole soul tribe is going to really appreciate this really expansive talk we had with you, because they're definitely on your frequency. So
Hello, friends.
everybody, this has been Katie at Encoded Frequencies. Go and check her out. Have a wonderful experience. So until then, guys, love you. Ciao.
Ciao.
Mira que